Welcome back again. This is Sky, and today we're doing a profile of Cyber Dragon Smokescreen. You'll find out why it's called that here in a minute. The main deck is set up kind of like a stun/control strategy. We're playing one Cybernetic Overflow. This just says I can banish Cyber Dragons with different levels from my hand or graveyard, and non-target send those cards to the graveyard. Non-target send cards on the field to the graveyard equal to the amount I send. We're playing 3 different dimension grounds. This is to kind of like one turn stun our opponent. Make it to where they can't send their monsters to the graveyard. Then playing 3 Solemn Strike in order to just furthermore control the game and stop our opponent from executing plays. Moving now on to spells. Playing a small fusion package for Cyber Dragon, smaller than I've ever played before. Be 1 Overload Fusion in order to recycle materials back from the Cybernetic Overflow. And 2 Overload Fusions in order to make the Rampages using cards in our graveyard. We're going with 2 Cyber Rev System in order to summon Cyber Dragon from our hand or any of the babies from our graveyard, because they all changed their name to Cyber Dragon. 2 Pile Desires in order to draw cards. This deck you play enough 3-ofs in the monster line that you don't care if a few gets banished. We're playing 3 Cyber Repair Plant in order to search any of our light machines or a Cyber Dragon. And then we're playing 3 Cyber Emergency to further search any Cyber Dragon or a light machine that can't be normal reset. So with these right here, you have 6 searchers for your entire deck. Moving now on to monsters. Got my supporters, which I'm playing 1 Jizakiri, the Star Destroying Kaiju. And the control variant, I don't really see a personal need for more than 1, considering it's searchable, so you can just pretty well get it whenever you need it. We're playing 2 Soldat Galactique. Cyber Dragons, it's Galaxy Soldier. Like, it's another rank 5 and it's another level 5 and extender. Reason why I say this is a Cyber Dragon Smokescreen deck. If you're not familiar with the term Smokescreen in Yu-Gi-Oh, it's when your main deck is completely set different from your side deck, and your 15 card side changes the strategy drastically to where your opponent is predicted in one way, then you just completely go the separate way. So to make our opponent predict one way, we're playing 3 Vanity Fiend. Because all the baby Cyber Dragons, besides from core, have a way to spell summon themselves out to the field. So the premise of this is, go first, or your opponent makes you go first, like in a game 3 type scenario or whatever. You spell summon out your Cyber Dragon, then you tribute it over for Vanity Fiend and lock your opponent out special summon. And to complement the Vanities, I'm also playing triple Inspector Border. For pretty much the same reason as the Vanities. It's another great stun card. This is a light machine, so it's searchable via my Cyber Spells and Traps. And along with this, it just stops monster effect activations, which in some cases are better than the special summons. In some cases, Vanities is better. Take it by a case for case basis, depending on what you're playing against. Next, I swear to God, we play Cyber Dragons in here. So here's the Cyber Dragons. We're playing 2 OG Cyber Dragon, 3 Core. Core adds any cyber spell or trap from your deck, so it makes Overflow searchable, makes Cyberload searchable, makes your search cards searchable to search your other search cards. And it also has this cool effect where if you have a clear board, you can banish yourself and summon an OG Cydra from the deck, in case that comes up for you. Next off, 3 Hurts. Hurts on Spell Summon changes its level to 5. If it is sent to the graveyard, you can add Cyber Dragon from your deck or graveyard to your hand. Cool thing about both Hurts, Core, and Nashter is they all change their name to Cyber Dragon while they're in the graveyard. And then, speaking of Nashter, I'm playing 2 Nasty Nashter. Nashter here is a pitch 1 monster in your hand, summon itself, and then you can target 1 monster, 2100 attack or defense in your graveyard, and summon it. And to complement Nashter, we're playing 1 Veer, because Veer, whenever a Cydra is summoned, it will summon itself. So in combination with like Veer, plus any of the others, you have 2 on field. Either conduct a Leak Summon, Fusion Summon, make a Vanities, just whatever you need. That's it for the main deck. Moving on to the extra deck. Well, side deck, because the side deck for the smoke screen. So our side deck, we're playing 3 cards that further advance the stun or control strategy. 1 being Red Reboot, and 2 being Heavy Storm Duster. Red Reboot is for trap heavy decks, and the Heavy Storm Duster is for the same thing, being trap heavy decks and or pendulum based decks. Heavy Storm Duster I prefer because with this way it is going first, so I don't really care it's a trap, and it's a no cost pop too. Now, the reason why it's called Smokescreen. Your side deck is completely nothing but the old school Cyber OTK. So we're going to play 3 Machine Dupes, 3 Power Bond, an extra Veer for the name, 2 Dries, 2 more Kaijus, and 1 more Cybernetic Monster Reborn card. So this is a 12-card side that will completely change up the fundamental ways in this deck plays, and all you do is you take out the bandies and borders and the trap cards. And it will function just as good as the Powerbond OTK did back in the day. Most of this deck is searchable. Most of this deck will just flat out annihilate. You play Stun first in order to trick your opponent, and that Stun is genetically better from 90% of the meta matchups. However, in a Game 2 scenario, for if you do win, then they're going to side deck in order to go first against your Stun, in which case you take out the Stun to pit in the OTK and make your deck fundamentally set for going second. And with this, you're now playing a going second deck, and they're making you go second, and they took out all their outs to, well, OTK based strategies because you're not playing the OTK Cyber. Moving on to the extra deck. The extra deck is set up still for the OTK version of Cyber Dragons, but fundamentally they're the same in principle, being 2 Cyber Dragon Zeger. Zeger is the only Cyber Dragon Link monster. It makes any Cyber Dragon gain an additional 2,100 attack points during a battle. It can boost all of them up to about 42, if not bigger. And then we're playing 1 Union Carrier. Union Carrier will equip any of our monsters to another monster, just boost it up. Then I'm playing Triple Nova. Nova is the best of the Cyber Dragon extra deck monsters. For its effect to banish a Sidra on field or graveyard, double its attack to 42. It can Monster Reborn a Sidra. And on top of that, if it's destroyed, you can summon any of the fusion monsters from your extra deck ignoring their conditions. So I like to play 3 Nova, but to complement the 3 Nova, I play 2 Infinities. So you're probably going to end up making 2 Infinities, plus you have the 3rd Nova there to actually use Nova as Nova. Like I said, it's still, extra deck is for the Cyber OTK, because the Cyber Stun really doesn't use this extra deck that much outside of, like, I would say the Novas, the Chimera Tech cards, and the Link monsters. So I can afford these 3 slots to keep them in for the OTK, being my Chimera Tech Rampage. Next is the Fusion monster that you summon off of Nova in case Nova's destroyed. And what better one than Cyber and Dragon for Cyber Dragons? If you have it and you can find it, Super Vehicle Roid Barboroid works even better as a 4800. That is, it's a 4800 Armades, if you remember Armades back in Synchro format. But trying to find one in a playable condition is almost impossible, at least for me. But Cyber and Dragon works just as fine. Plus, if you have the materials, you can just hard make it with Cyberload. And moving on to the Chimera Techs, to Fortress and the Mega Fleet. Because they're Fortress and Mega Fleet. Mega Fleet to outlink monsters. Fortress will out 90% of your matchups, especially in combination with the OTK and the 3 Kaijus. Kaiju over your opponent's monster, suck it up with the Fortress. There you go. You just out of the Dragoons, plus got a 2K beat stick on top of it. Okay, on top of that, I am Sky, this is Cyber Dragons, and we go Burr. Thank you.
Like and subscribe to Metagame. Hit the bell icon.
That shit sharp, for the light you give, trucking up all night, you, for the light you give.